European Union the absolute disaster as it refuses any peace deal made by Trump. European Union, along with other Western countries, has focused on supporting Ukraine in its confrontation with Russia instead of promoting diplomacy and peaceful solutions. It has chosen to persist in an endless cycle of military escalation. Every day that passes as the conflict continues is a day that innocent lives are lost needlessly. European refuses to recognize any peace deal brokered by President Trump. They have said they will not respect any ceasefire in the Black Sea. Note the beginning of the end: Baltic Sea, Black Sea, Caspian Sea, Mediterranean Sea, having to do with predictions made by the Christian Orthodox elders. Concerning the Black Sea, January 1st, 2019, the elder said, in its passage, Russia towards Turkey will give a bit to NATO from air, sea, will give a bite to NATO from the air, sea, and land in the Black Sea. In the Baltic Sea, number 2, the proximity of Kaliningrad to all the nations of the Baltic Sea presents a great danger. NATO strikes to eliminate the capabilities of Kaliningrad will be met with equivalent strikes against NATO by Russia. These are the prophecies. All nations with coastlines on the Baltic Sea, except for Russia's small western coast in Kaliningrad, namely Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and Germany, are NATO nations. What does this mean? That the Russian Baltic fleet based in Kaliningrad will be at a disadvantage against the rest of NATO fleets. Basically, the Baltic Sea almost becomes NATO's internal waters. In a possible conflict, Russian warships and even submarines would not be able to use the Baltic without running the risk. And what did the elders say about the Baltic? A, they want to encircle Russia to the north using the Baltic countries. They will try to end the war there, but the war will suddenly escape them. B, it will appear that they have encircled Russia upwards in the Baltic, but where they believe they have encircled Russia, there the volcano called the Red Bear Wounded will erupt. 3, the Caspian Sea, and the message from the elder, March 22nd, 2022, said, Russia, after Ukraine, etc., will descend south from the Caspian and the Black Seas to the eastern Mediterranean and the Middle East. 4, the Mediterranean area. This is a prediction, a prophecy made May 8, 2021. The elder said the third part of the Great War will take place in the eastern Mediterranean, and 7 countries will be involved. Something big will happen with Iran. The third part will be accompanied by a major earthquake. March 14, 2022, the elder said, in the eastern Mediterranean at sea, deadly naval battles will take place. The elder mentioned many times that the Cyprus War will take place at sea by naval forces of various states. Number 5, the Hellespont in the Dardanelles Straits. A, Turkey by order of Germany will close the straits with its airplane carrier Saravallo under the pretend of Greece. The goal of Germany, Turkey is to enclosure Russia in the Black Sea by closing the straits. As we know, that's the only way that the German ships can go to the Black Sea towards Crimea is through the Dardanelles Straits, which is basically a very, very tight area on the coast of Istanbul. B, February 4th, 2021, prophecy of the elder said, the Russians, seeing that they cannot go down due to the closure of the straits by the Turks, will use 3 corridors to go to Istanbul, with the Chinese being, as we said, the hands of the Russians. United States of America versus Iran. President Donald Trump sent a letter to the leader of Iran, Ali Khamenei, asking for a new agreement with Tehran. The letter essentially gave 2 options, the option for negotiation or the military option. The deadline was 2 months, meaning it expires in May 2025. And Trump said, we have a situation with Iran that something will happen very soon, very, very soon. The end of stupidity. EU Commissioner for Humanitarian Aid and Crisis Management, Hadja Labib explains the basics of an emergency bag in a video designed for the average European facing epic disaster if NATO, minus the US, goes to war. On Tuesday, April 1st, that's tomorrow, of course, 2025, the writer says, I will try to publish an article that will inform you how you will actually survive, and it will help you a lot. My friends, we cannot ignore the reality of war. We cannot close our eyes to the fact that the conflict has already resulted in millions of victims and injured, and this tragic number constantly increasing. The war in Ukraine has gone beyond local conflicts, developed into geopolitical war with global consequences. Western countries, especially in Europe, continue to support this with military and economic aid, but they ignore the most basic issue. Peace must be the absolute priority. How much longer can we watch human lives being lost? Why does Europe insist on strategies that lead to more pain and loss? Russia proposes nuclear weapons and the threats to use them are constant. The fact that Russia is at this strategic level makes the situation even more dangerous and unstable. We can't ignore the fact that any escalation move may have consequences that will far exceed the planet's endurance. The leaders of the European Union seem to be locked in a strategy that's leading nowhere. If Europe insists on strategies that only escalate the conflict, then we will find ourselves facing a global war that will affect not only Ukraine and Russia, but the entire world. The time for peace is now. The price of silence and inaction is already terrible. Every delay, every additional day that passes with the conflict raging is a day when the cost to humanity increases. And the writer's comment says the elder has long told us to pray a lot and to have love for each other and for the whole world. He warned us to always have with us the icon of our Virgin Mother and our patron saint, to have a prayer book, a blessing, and if possible, a candle for the resurrection at home. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.